Good morning, students. Today's topic is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. We'll see one by one the words. First is reproduction. So you already studied in chapter 1. Reproduction is a biological process in which organisms gives rise to young ones, offsprings similar to itself is reproduction. What is meant by sexual? Here the process is by the formation of gametes. By the formation of gametes, gametes later fuse, resulting in the formation of a new individual. Flowering plants refers to angiosperms. Flowering plants refers to angiosperms. So reproduction, that is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So what is a flower? Flower is a modified shoot specialized for sexual reproduction. Is a modified shoot. So what is flower? We say flower as a fascinating organ in angiosperms, which can be defined in different ways. So it is an object of aesthetic, ornamental, social, cultural and religious value. That is one definition for flower. Aesthetic, which is nothing but appreciation of beauty. Flowers are used to convey human feelings like affection, happiness, love, grief, mourning, etc. For a biologist, flower is like this. It is a morphological and embryological marvel. Marvel is wonder. Morphological and embryological marvel, which is the site of sexual reproduction. So what is flower? Flower is a modified shoot specialized for sexual reproduction. So flower, it is a fascinating organ of angiosperms. Why? It is a modified shoot specialized for sexual reproduction. It is the site of sexual reproduction. It is morphologically, embryologically the modified shoot or site of sexual reproduction. Now let us consider a flower. This is the diagram of LS of a flower. LS of a flower. So flower, LS of a flower. Flower is a modified shoot. Means what? Modified leaves forms the floral whorls. Modified leaves form the floral whorls. So these are the four floral whorls. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Before that, the stalk of the flower is called pedicel. So stalk is called pedicel. Pedicel is swollen at the upper end little bit. This swollen portion is called thalamus. So stalk is called pedicel. Swollen apical portion of the stalk, the pedicel, is thalamus. Then it is made up of 4 whorls. So we'll see one by one. Outermost whorl is known as calyx. So calyx. Individual units of the calyx is a whorl. The individuals are sepals. Next to that is corolla. Individuals are called petals. Whorl is corolla, individuals are petals. These two are accessory whorls, whereas followed by, here comes the androecium part, androecium, and one more is gynoecium. So what is androecium and gynoecium? You already studied in first year. Androecium is male part of the flower, gynoecium is female part of the flower. Now androecium, see androecium, individual units of androecium are Stamens. Stamens. A stamen is with filament, which is the stalk of the stalk of the unit, and anther lobe. Anther lobe. Stalk. So these two together makes a stamen, which is the unit of androecium. Unit of androecium. Now coming to gynoecium. Gynoecium is female part of the flower made up of 3 units. Lower flask shaped solen structure, the ovary, and the receptive stigma. The stigma, one which receives the pollen grains later. So this is the stigma and the style, narrow style. So ovary, style, stigma together forms gynoecium. That is, the entire structure is called carpel or pistil, which is the unit of gynoecium. So gynoecium is made by units called pistil or carpel. So male and female reproductive structures, androecium and gynoecium, are called essential parts of the flower. So flower is with 4 whorls, accessory and essential. So accessory are calyx and corolla, essential are androecium and gynoecium. Essential are androecium and gynoecium. Now concentrate on sexual reproduction. Again, sexual reproduction. What is sexual reproduction? Fusion of male and female gametes. Gametes fuse, resulting in the formation of zygote. Zygote grows and become embryo. Embryo grows and become a new individual. So all these events can be explained under 3 headings: pre-fertilization, fertilization and post-fertilization. Pre-fertilization, fertilization and post-fertilization. Now the topic is pre-fertilization. Fertilization, prior to fertilization. So what is sexual reproduction? Union of gametes resulting in the formation of zygote. Zygote grows and become embryo. Embryo later changes into new individuals. All the events can be explained under 3 headings: pre-fertilization, fertilization and post-fertilization. Pre-fertilization. Pre-fertilization structure and events. The decision that the plant is going to produce flower has already taken place within the plant just before the appearance of flowers, just before the production of flowers in the plant. Several hormonal and structural events occur within the plant which leads to the production of floral primordium, young flower. Inflorescence is produced with several buds. These buds later changes into flowers. These bud later changes into flowers. So that is this. So pre-fertilization, what is that? The decision that plant is going to produce flowers has already taken place within the plant much before the production of flowers. Much before the production of flower. Several hormonal and structural changes leads to the production of flower. Inflorescence is produced which is with several buds. These buds later change into flowers. Now already we studied flower is with the 2 parts, male and female. Male part is called androecium, female part is called gynoecium. Now under this first heading is the male reproductive part. Male reproductive structure, the androecium. Male reproductive structure, the androecium. You already studied. Units of androecium are stamens. Units of androecium are stamen. Observe, this is a single stamen. This is a single stamen. Stamen is made up of 2 parts. See, long elongated slender part which is the stalk. Long elongated slender part, the stalk, which is called filament. Which is called filament, and lobed structure, which is the anther. And the lobed structure, which is the anther. So a single stamen, which is the unit of androecium, made up of two parts, a long slender filament and a lobed structure, the anther. Lobed structure, the anther. This end of the stamen is called proximal end. This is the end through which it is attached to the thalamus or to the petals. This end is proximal end. Proximal end. So through the proximal end, it is attached to the thalamus or to the petals. The length of the stamen varies from species to species. Now coming to atypical angiosperm anther. Atypical angiosperm. Atypical angiosperm anther. See, this is the filament portion and this is the anther lobes. Totally there are two lobes. So typical angiosperm anther is bilobed with the two lobes. This is one lobe, this is another lobe. This entire is one lobe, this is another lobe. Bilobed. Each lobe internally with the two sacs, 1, 2. This is one lobe, two sacs. Another lobe, two sacs. Each lobe internally with the two sacs. Each lobe internally with the two sacs. We will see one by one. These sacs, these are the sacs. Sac 1, sac 2. These are the sacs. These two are the sacs. Sacs. Sacs are called microsporangia. 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 This is plural. Sporangium is singular. This one is microsporangium. One more microsporangium. Together two microsporangia. So each lobe internally with the two sacs are also called theca. Theca refers to chamber. Chamber. So a typical angiosperm anther is dithecous. Di is each lobe with the two chambers. Chambers are microsporangium. Two together are microsporangia. So each lobe with the two sacs. There is a longitudinal groove. See, this is the groove. Longitudinal groove runs throughout the length of the lobe, which separates the two thecas. There is a longitudinal groove. This is the groove which runs within the lobe, in between the two sacs, separates the two sacs. This is that groove, longitudinal groove. Now, there are how many lobes? Two lobes. One lobe with the two microsporangia. Together in a bilobed stamen, there are totally 4 microsporangia. Together there are 4 microsporangia. As this anther matures, these microsporangia changes into pollen sacs. These changes into pollen sacs. Microsporangia changes into pollen sacs, plural sacs, pollen sacs. Pollen sacs internally contain pollen grains. These pollen sacs internally contain pollen grains. What are pollen grains? Are the structures which later produce male gametes. That's why these pollen grains are also called male gametophytes. Male gametophytes. Pollen grains are male gametophytes. Another name for pollen grains is microspores. Microspores. Yes, microsporangia. Each lobe, 1, 2 lobe, 3, 4 lobes. That is not 4 lobes, lobes 2, each lobe with 2 chambers. Pollen sacs. Pollen sacs internally produce pollen grains. Pollen sacs internally produce pollen grains. Microspores male gametophytes. Now, each pollen sac extends longitudinally throughout the length of the lobe. So, this is one which extends up to here. Back of this, one more extends throughout the length. So, in each lobe there are two pollen sacs which extend throughout the length of the lobe. Throughout the length of the lobe. Internally, in a mature anther, these are packed with the pollen grains. When these microsporangium matures, it produces many pollen grains. The pollen grains produced exert pressure on the wall. As a result, anther breaks and pollen grains are released outside from the mature anther. From the mature anther. So, that is microsporangia. Microsporangia. Singular is microsporangium. We will see microsporangium in detail. So, this is the TS of young anther. TS of young anther. Transverse section of young anther shows microsporangium. See, this is a microsporangium. This is. So, totally there are 4 microsporangium. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is one lobe and this is one more lobe. Each lobe with 2. So, a typical microsporangium. This is a microsporangium. Microsporangium. A microsporangium is made up of 4 wall layers. A microsporangium is made up of 4 wall layers. See, one more, 2, 3 and one more. So, 1, 2, 3, here one more. 4 wall layers. It is with 4 wall layers. It is with 4 wall layers. These 4 walls are 1, 2, 3 and 4 are named like this. Outermost is epidermis. Outermost is epidermis, followed by endothecium. Epidermis, endothecium, middle layer and tapetum. So, there are 4 wall layers. They are epidermis, endothecium, middle layer and tapetum. Epidermis, endothecium, middle layer and tapetum. Among these, the outer three are protective in function. They are protective in function. Protective. Inner one is nutritive. Supplies nutrition for the developing pollen grains. Where are pollen grains? Pollen grains are inside the microsporangium. So, now a microsporangium. Transverse section of a young anther shows 4 microsporangium. 2 in each lobe. A microsporangium is somewhat spherical, circular with wall. Wall is made up of 4 layers. Epidermis, endothecium, middle layer and tapetum. Outer 3 are protective. Tapetum is nutritious. It supplies nutrition for the developing pollen grains. Supplies nutrition for the developing pollen grains. The cells are their cells. If we take like this, the cells of the tapetum are with dense cytoplasm, with more than one nucleus. So, that is the cells of the tapetum. Now, what is inside this? The same thing I will explain here. A portion of this enlarged. So, this portion, see, outer wall, single layer of epidermis, followed by one more layer, the endothecium, followed by 2 to 3 layer, middle layer, Epidermis, endothelium, middle layer. Middle layer is followed by one more layer is there. This layer, this is tapetum. Okay, this is tapetum. See here, epidermis, endothelium, middle layer, 2 to 3 layers of cell, and this is tapetum. Inner to the tapetum is what? Inner to the tapetum is, what is this? This is young stamen. So when it is young, inner to the tapetum is sporogenous tissue. Sporogenous tissue. So a portion of this, when enlarged, it is like this. See here, epidermis, endothelium. This is middle layer, and these bigger cells, these are the tapetum. Inner to the tapetum, this is the sporogenous tissue. Sporogenous tissue. So this is in young stamen, young anther. As this anther grows, this sporogenous tissue changes into, I already told, what is this sac now? Microsporangia. Microsporangium, which is nothing but pollen sacs. So these cells later changes into pollen grains. So what is this sporogenous tissue? Is one which is the young tissue which later by division changes into pollen grains, microspores. Formation of microspores, pollen grains from this sporogenous tissue is called microsporogenesis. Is called microsporogenesis. So what is microsporogenesis? Next is microsporogenesis. 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 Now the sporogenous tissue which is inside the microsporangium undergoes mitotic division. Undergoes mitotic division. It grows. As the anther grows, the sporogenous tissue undergoes division. What is that? Division is mitotic. Mitotic results in the formation of cells known as microspore mother cells, which are known as microspore mother cells. Mother cells are also known as pollen mother cells. Are also known as pollen mother cells. Pollen mother cells. So sporogenous tissue undergo mitosis, which give rise to MMC, microspore mother cells or pollen mother cells. What is the ploidy of these cells? The ploidy is 2N. Ploidy of these cells is 2N. These cells next undergo meiosis. These cells next undergo meiosis. Here it is mitosis, meiosis. Results in the formation of, consider this is the sporogenous tissue. This is the sporogenous tissue. Consider a single sporogenous tissue which grows and become microspore mother cell. This microspore mother cell undergo division and results in a structure like this. So one changes like this. What is this? This undergo meiosis. So after meiosis, this changes into this. What is this? This is called microspore tetrad. That is 4 cells which are the results of meiosis from a single cell held together is called microspore tetrad. Microspore tetrad. So now the sporogenous tissue undergo beginning mitosis, give rise to microspore mother cell, which undergo meiosis, give rise to microspore tetrad. Give rise to microspore tetrad. Now microspore tetrad. This microspore tetrad later grows and give rise to microspores. So one microspore tetrad later give rise to 4 microspores. So, what is the ploidy of each cell? What is the ploidy of each cell? Each cell is haploid. Each cell is haploid. Since it is produced by meiosis, each cell is haploid. And these are held together by a cementing material known as callus. Callus. So, callus holds these 4 cells together. Callus. So, as the anther matures, these 4 cells dissociate from the callus wall and come out, and they become the pollen grains or the microspores. Now we started microsporogenesis. What is? Generation of microspores. From which cell microspores are produced? From the sporogenous tissue. Sporogenous tissue later changes into microspore mother cells. These microspore mother cells then give rise to microspores. Microspores, nothing but pollen grains. Microspores are nothing but pollen grains. So, production of microspores from microspore mother cell by meiosis is microsporogenesis. Production of microspores from microspore mother cell by meiosis is microsporogenesis. Production of pollen grains from pollen mother cell by meiosis is also called microsporogenesis. That is microsporogenesis. As the anther matures, within the anther, microspores are in this stage. They are in the form of microspore tetrads. 4 haploid cells held together within a common wall. 4. As the anther matures, this wall dissociates. As the anther matures and dehydration occurs, these dissociate and all these come out. All these come out, or these are released as the anther dehisces. These are released as the anther dehisces, which can be explained in the case of a mature anther, dehiscing anther. Now, this is a mature dehiscing anther. Observe here, this is the conducting tissue of the anther lobe, which is this. And what are these? These two are the lobes, microsporangia to microsporangia. Epidermis, endothecium, and this is the middle layer. Epidermis, endothecium, and the middle layer. And here we can't see tapetum. So, what is the function of tapetum? Tapetum is nutritive. It supplies nutrition for the growing pollen grains. See, all these are what now? All these are pollen grains. These are produced by the process of microsporogenesis from microspore mother cells. So, when these pollen grains are produced, whatever tapetum is there, which is nutritive, is used up. Finally, there is no tapetum. So, 3 layers: outer, middle, that is epidermis, endothecium, middle, no tapetum. That means tapetum is completely used up. All the microspore tetrads now changed into pollen grains. Each microsporangia produce several thousand pollen grains. Now, in between the 2 sacs, here there is a weak point which is known as stomium, which I explained in the case of three-dimensional diagram. A groove runs between the 2 theca. That is this. This is the opening, which is stomium, where the cells are much more weak. So, several thousand pollen grains are produced inside the microsporangium. At the same time, dehydration occurs. Anther is mature and they exert pressure on the wall, and here the anther breaks. So, in 2 points the anther breaks. One is here, one more is here. In between the 2 microsporangia of a lobe. So, this is one lobe, and these pollen grains are released out. So, we started pre-fertilization structures and events. Under that, one part we started: male reproductive structure, androecium. Individuals are called stamen. Stamen is with a long slender filament and anther lobes. In angiosperms, a typical stamen is bilobed with 2 lobes, dithecous, and the TS of a mature anther, TS of a young anther shows like this. There are 4 walls, young one, 4 walls, epidermis, endothecium, middle layer and tapetum. Epidermis, endothelium. So all the give, outer 3 give protection. Inner is tapetum, which is nutritive. Microsporangium is spherical. So when the microsporangium is young, this is called sporogenous tissue. This undergo mitosis initially, resulting in the formation of microspore mother cells. These microspore mother cells undergo meiosis, resulting in microspore tetrad. 4 cells held together. The cementing material is callose. As the anther matures, these microspore tetrads form, the ploidy of each cell is haploid, dissociate, and the pollen grains come out, and the dehiscing anther like this, all these pollen grains come out. So what is microsporogenesis? Formation of microspores from microspore mother cells by the process of meiosis. So sporogenous tissue, this is the sporogenous tissue which is present in the young anther. Sporogenous tissue, this undergoes initially mitosis followed by meiosis, resulting in the formation of haploid microspores. So what are microspores now? Microspores are pollen grains. What are pollen grains? Are the structures which later produce male gametes. So microspores are also called male gametophytes. Observe this, the mature anther which is dehiscing. These are the pollen grains. So this is young, this portion enlarged, epidermis, endothecium, middle layer, tapetum and the sporogenous tissue. So initially by mitosis, later by meiosis, it results in pollen grains. These pollen grains come out through this opening. So continuation is pollen grain.